You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 6, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Calling the meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District to order for February 6, 2024. Can we please rise and salute the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Is this one? Okay. Let's see. John,
Here.
Marcella, here. Jerry,
Jerry's not here.
no. Mitch,
Here.
Amanda,
Here.
Mark is not here. We have 4 for a quorum.
Okay. Moving on, item D, election of officers for 2024. We have positions president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer.
I make a motion we maintain the positions that are already in place.
I second.
So there's a motion and a second to maintain the current officers for 2024.
And you may want to, just for the record, say who the officers
Okay.
are and what they're...
Okay. President John Carr, Vice President Mitch Bishop, Secretary Jerry Jackson, Treasurer Marcella Kunsteck. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. What about attorney? Do we need to do that one each year? Or?
You could do retention of attorney and financial counsel, and I actually was going to bring it up under new business, but I'm going to bring up the touchy subject of fees, which is, I don't know that I've ever changed the hourly rate that I've charged the board in the 8 years that I've been doing this. And I, like all of my brethren who do municipal work, whether it's the sewer district, the sanitary district, the county, have a reduced fee. But as that reduced fee and the normal fee have kind of developed a significant gap in the last 8 years. So my fee was $175. I would just ask the board to approve $200 an hour, which again is, if any of you have had the fortune or misfortune of paying us privately, is usually significantly higher than $200 an hour these days. So that's what I would ask.
Should we have a new proposal from each of them with that to sign?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll need to as well readdress fees. I mean, the duties have changed quite a bit, and I can provide a new proposal.
Yeah.
We can both do that.
Okay.
We can do, I mean, I just do a simple letter of engagement, but I think you probably ought to have it in case the State Board of Accounts wants to see it.
I think it's
agree,
necessary.
Jennifer.
Okay.
Okay. So are we going to make a motion to retain legal?
No, we're gonna wait until we get the proposals, and then we can do that next month.
Okay.
And from both of them with their new fees, and then we can
Okay.
approve at that time and sign.
Sounds good.
All right.
It'll work.
Moving on. Approval of minutes from previous meeting, December 19th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from December 19th, 2023. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Next item, F, public comment. Anyone wishing to speak needs to state their name and address for the record, and we'll have 3 minutes to speak. Is there anybody here under public comment? Anybody online for public comment?
Did you wanna, this is when you need to speak if you wanna say something.
He said no.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to reports. Steve Carter, Claims and Finance.
Okay, starting with Hudson Saugony service area, ending balance at 12/31, $2,574,609.18. About $176,000 in the Horizon checking account and about $2.4 million in the Hoosier Fund. For Rolling Prairie, ending balance $168,287.93. Of that amount, $132,857 is in the operating fund, $59.50 in the debt service reserve, and $29,480 in the bond and interest account. The toll road, we ended the year at $453,039.22. Of that amount, $106,916 is in the operating fund, and $346,113 is in the improvement fund or the Hoosier Fund. Any questions on that before we go to claims?
Any questions for Steve?
No?
Claims. We had a couple of late additions. I have $119,809.16.
It's your pleasure, no claims.
Is that it? Okay, make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims in the amount of $119,809.16. Are there any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by the word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Good. I got one question. I was,
Too late.
it's not really about. It's just about the reimbursement.
Yeah.
We paid $1,830 every month. I'm just noticing right here. It always says attention, Tammy. Tammy no longer works at the auditor's office, so
I gave that paperwork to Steve, and we can fill it out to the best of our knowledge, but
yeah.
we've never done it before, and
I'm not sure who took over Tammy's spot either.
so Tammy is not there anymore?
No.
No, she's moved to a different office.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, Mitch. I don't know if you have a contact over there. I can stop in and talk to him because this doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, we can fill it out. I just don't know how to fill it out. It doesn't really. It's not intuitive. I don't know why they.
I thought the memo in the line of the check saying what fund.
Right.
to-
Right.
This is asking for an appropriated account and all that. It's like you don't have an appropriated account. I mean,
So
unless they're asking for the fund that it came from originally.
my understanding is that Tammy never asked for that.
No.
That was when Tammy wasn't there. When I dropped it off, that's where I received that, and it said, "Oh, that's done wrong. You need to do this way." I'm like, but now Tammy's gone totally, so we're gonna run into some problems potentially
Well,
if we don't get.
I think maybe Steve will take these 2 checks over there after this meeting and see if you can get to the bottom of it and see how we need to fill it out. I mean, we can tell them what the fund is, and that's all the information we have.
so
Yeah,
we're trying
what's,
to take it and they're
Go ahead, John,
making it
sorry.
hard. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially,
Yeah.
it was-
Okay, well, just send a check. Period. I mean, if they,
They
can't
won't
figure it
accept
out,
it.
Hey, man.
They didn't accept it. Like,
They don't want your money.
took it.
if they don't want their money, I don't know what to tell them.
No, Mitch, if you give me like the room number and who you talk to, I can walk over there after the meeting and
Well, I'll
talk to
go
them.
with you if you put
All
it
right.
together. It's fine.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Thank
get that taken care of.
And then just write it down and make a copy so then we can just put it with it every month or whatever we need to do.
I wish all bill collectors were like that.
Yeah, me too.
Forget my account number when I
No.
mail my Xfinity payment in. Nope, we're not taking it. All right, moving on. Asbury.
Good morning.
Boy.
The only thing I have to report is the filter project is almost complete. I'm not sure if everybody has signed off on it yet, but for the most part, that is complete. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
Awesome.
Any questions from the board?
Chris, what do you mean almost complete? Because the report says it was complete.
when they did the project after the fact, it's the filter started leaking, so they came out and tried to get it to put a new gasket in there, and it was still leaking. So they were going to get somebody out there to take a look at it. But since then, it stopped leaking. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they right now. I'm not sure where they stand on it. I'll have to speak with Jenny at JPR.
Okay, yeah, Dan Byam's here, and that's the first he's heard of it. So, yeah, keep me in the loop on those emails or contact, and also Dan.
Okay.
Have you reported to Jenny that it was leaking?
Yeah. Everybody knows about it. That, like I said, DA Dodd's been out a couple of times trying to fix it, and they have been emailing Jenny, letting her know that it's not complete yet. So when that email goes through saying that everything's complete, I'll make sure I let everybody know.
Okay, keep me on all those emails, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I should also note there's the manner of restoration and seeding out there. I know they contractor tore up the site a little bit with ruts through the grass. It is part of their contractual obligation to repair that, but they're not going to come out and do final seeding of that until the spring when the seed will take hold.
Makes sense.
So are we holding back retainage for this?
Let's ask Jenny.
Okay, yeah.
Usually would.
Regardless, there would typically be a 1-year maintenance period anyway. So even if we're not holding back retainage, we still have the ability to enforce maintenance on them.
Okay. Yeah, let's check with that and then keep me in the loop on those emails. Okay. Anything else, Chris?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I took over. Sorry.
Huh? Sorry, I fell asleep. Where were we?
We're at
Now we are in transfer of funds from Hoosier account.
Oh yeah, transfer of funds from Hoosier account to Hudson Saucony account. All are big amounts. So we're gonna have to transfer some, right? Regardless.
Yeah, so there's 176,000 at the end of the year. And there's a $100,000 check going out today.
Okay.
So
minimum.
sounds like going forward, it's going to be about $100,000 a month from JPR. If you want to do like a quarter at a time, something like that.
Something easier.
That's
Did you
fine.
Check any Horizon comparison?
I just give Steve the numbers usually every month, and we're running pretty comparable. Or is Hoosier a little higher?
Hoosier's a little higher, and I think, certainly that is, it's something to consider. It's not the only thing to consider. I think if we went with like transferring a significant amount back over to Hoosier, we have to be careful about how we structured the roll off of those CDs.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have to do like a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 6 month CD and just have them mature each month.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do quarterly, like you said, where we just move from Hoosier over to Horizon quarterly? Just so much to cover us.
But if Horizon matches the rates, then if we leave it in Horizon, we don't have to move it at all, right?
Well, you're going to have to lock it down though to get those rates.
Yeah, so the CDs are right. That's the really the issue as I see it is the CDs mature monthly, so you'd have to structure a ladder that whereas Hoosier Fund you can get it out daily.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably coming to a point where we're targeting sometime in the late summer closing on an SRF loan to maybe take that out or at least take part of it out.
Okay.
The note anyway.
Yeah, let's just keep it up.
I don't know.
So we want to
Have
transfer
to think through that a little bit more.
quarter? Quarter would be what,
300,000.
So we have nothing to do this month. They're good. But
Maybe
next
just to be,
month.
I want us to be
technically
safe.
End of this
Right,
month,
because we've got
this
another
is
meeting
our
coming up in like
January
two
meeting.
weeks, right? So
Our January meeting. So we can
transfer.
either make a motion now and have it there now.
Let's just do that. Yeah, because I can do that, tomorrow morning. Just move it over in the
Yeah.
next couple days. I'll just move
that
it
way it's done and we don't have to worry
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
So you good?
Yep.
So motion to transfer 300,000 from Hoosier Fund to Horizon.
I make that motion.
Okay. You got a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second to transfer 300,000 from the Hoosier Fund to Horizon. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
So I'll do that Wednesday morning.
Okay, JPR,
I've got nothing more in than what I've put in your report. I know we filed some liens here in January, and I'll give you an update on that in a few weeks. And then I believe we'll be releasing some that might have paid too. So
Okay.
I'll have that for you.
Awesome.
I have to double check, but yeah, I think we received some payments.
I have one other thing on customer connections for Rolling Prairie. I think I don't remember if it was in the December meeting or when this was discussed, but the topic of Carl Streeter got brought up. Carl's contractor, Pavey Excavating, has since sent me their plan for connection, and I reviewed it and have no objection to it. Basically, they are planning on connecting just upstream of the 350 East pump station, a couple 100 feet upstream of it, tying directly into the 6-inch main. And they'd be tying in with a grinder pump station directly into that force main. So I found that grinder station will have no adverse impact on the Hatfield station, which is the one that it would affect hydraulically, since it's tying into that force main. It'll have no significant impact on that. And the grinder pump they submitted on was a 2 horsepower Liberty Pumps grinder pit. And I ran this past Jerry, and we tentatively approve it so long as that grinder pump station is privately owned and maintained. That grinder pump station will be Carl Streeter's responsibility and not the responsibility of the district. If pumps go out or whatever,
Wow.
that'll be Carl's responsibility, because otherwise we'd have to get an easement
Okay.
in order to, because we can't put it in State Road 2 right of way. So we said if it was going to be owned by the district, we would require it to be an E1, because that's what the district standardized around. But it's a perfectly good, reputable pump. It's just I indicated to Pavey to make sure Carl Streeter understood that this station is going to be owned and maintained by him.
So let me ask a question, Dan. Would we, I mean, at some point, we need to approve this formally as a board, right? Because it went through a different channel to get here.
But we did last month, didn't we?
Yes,
Yes.
correct. We approved it getting reviewed by the engineer.
Contingent upon a review.
Contingent upon Dan's review and approval.
So my question would be, would we prefer to have an easement and have us maintain it so that there's continuity if it's an acceptable pump? Because maybe that's the deal, right? I mean,
I guess I would question that too. I mean, if he has a problem, he calls the city. Is the city going to go out there and then charge the district? Or how are we going to, if we keep putting different ones in different spots and letting the property owners.
Right.
I would certainly err on the side of having uniformity and have the district be able to control that the way they do everybody else, as long as you're okay with the equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's different, but if it's fine,
Yeah, it is.
then I don't know why he would object. I mean,
we
if
talk-
somebody said, I'll maintain that, you just give me an easement to maintain it, I would certainly give the easement so that it's your problem.
Kind of setting a precedent, and if he does
Exactly.
it, then the other guy next to him will do it, then the other guy,
And then
and they'll have different
What
pumps.
if there's an issue? I mean,
That's what
if
worries
there's stuff
me.
going in it that
Right.
shouldn't be going in it?
Or it fails, or
As part of my review, I indicated that we expect a curb stop to be placed in the right of way, so that the district has access to it to shut off his service if for whatever reason he's delinquent in paying fees and whatnot.
I think we should go Barry's route,
Well,
though.
I mean, JPR has developed that we've reviewed an easement agreement. I'm not sure who the point of contact is for Mr. Streeter, whether it's been you, Dan. I mean, I would just wonder if we could throw a form of standardized easement like we're generating for the Hudson-Saugony project and say, look, we want to maintain this. We want to take the responsibility of it, but we need to be able to access the equipment. So I mean, it's the board's decision. I just think
Makes sense.
having our system affected completely privately by somebody else, I think puts us in more peril than the minimal responsibility of maintaining the grinder pump the way we do all the other dozens or hundreds that we have.
Well, if we're gonna do that, then I'm gonna recommend that they put in an E1 station because that's what we have spares of. If they have a pump go out, we don't have any spares of this style of pump.
Correct.
So have they done the work?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
No.
I am also still waiting for the payment of the 1,500, which he knows, and then emailed me a few weeks ago and said, "Oh, I'll get that
Now-
sent to you."
I tentatively approved the use of that pump station based on Jerry and my discussion last week. I can turn around and say, hey, we're interested in offering
Yeah.
to Mr. Streeter to own and maintain the grinder station in exchange for an easement,
I think we should.
provided that they install the district standard equipment. If it's going to be owned and maintained by the district, it needs to be an E1 station.
Is there a significant, do you know, Dan, like price difference between the two?
Patriot
there
and
shouldn't
E1.
Okay.
Shouldn't be.
I mean, could he use that one, and then if it goes bad, we install the E1?
No, that would end up costing twice as much.
Yeah, I think Pavey had one of those on hand, and so that's why he had spec'd it out that way, and because that's what he put in for the other one, which is also the one we didn't know about since 2020. So I think we have to be careful.
So I think we say we offer an easement and we offer we would say we would offer an easement in exchange for the use of this specific grinder station and district ownership and maintenance.
Yeah, and I mean, they could be watching the meeting, but I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but our approval was contingent upon your review.
Correct.
If your review is it'd be better off if we maintain it, and it'd be better off if we have a consistent pump, then that's your review and that's the approval. I mean, otherwise it's not approved. I mean, again, if it were, I'm going to spend $5,000 and what the districts want is $15,000. Hey, I get that. That's
Right.
That's one thing, but what we would propose is essentially apples to apples, correct?
Should be.
I mean, I don't know about
And
getting
we're
the equipment,
responsible.
but if there's there, and then we're responsible.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. If we're responsible and we have all those excess parts laying around for one type of manufactured pump, why would we want to have to carry a whole second set for one pump? That makes no sense.
We don't. So
Okay, let's try that. Let's.
you want me
Recommend.
to call Mr. Streeter to
Oh.
Yeah. What
gauge
if
interest in that?
he's
No,
not
I
interested
don't think
in
we're
that?
offering it. I think
Be
they're
prepared.
saying
Well-
they want it consistent, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not an option, or is it an option? Let's
say it's
figure
a-
that up.
It's up to the board. I would
It's a
phrase
board
it as an
recommendation.
option because I think it sets a bad precedent. Again,
I guess I've already.
and I understand you've already indicated favorably. So
I'm
let's
saying
cross that bridge when we come to it. I mean, this isn't a confrontational thing. It's, hey, we want consistent. We know this pump works. If your contractor can get it, and I suspect you could help that contractor figure out where to get it. We've bought dozens or hundreds of them, I suspect. And the pricing is essentially the same. I just find it difficult to believe that somebody wouldn't want us to take responsibility. I mean, that seems, but if not, I guess you reach out to me and we'll deal with it at the next board meeting. I mean, to me, it's not a demand. It's really a cooperative thing. Look, we want to take responsibility for
You
this,
approved it, but the board wants
Yeah.
consistency.
and you can blame me.
Blame Barry.
We usually do.
Yeah, I mean,
Blame council.
it's the job.
Attorney recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have a motion to that?
I don't know.
I make that motion.
A motion to.
I would make a motion to empower JPR to approach Mr. Streeter or the homeowner regarding this extension of service about consistency of equipment
One pump
and
Patriot.
granting the
Easement.
district an easement so that we can maintain it. I know that was a lot of words, so I apologize, Mr. Carr.
Something like that.
Okay,
let's see if I can butcher it.
And granting
Something like that.
easement.
Yeah, just say
Okay.
second.
Second.
Marcy made the motion.
I made the motion, John.
The motion is to give Mr. Bynum, JPR, the ability to negotiate the easement and grinder pump for Mr. Streeter location, something like that.
Yeah. Motion to empower JPR to approach property owner about consistency of pump and granting easement.
Okay. We got a second?
I second that.
Mitch did. Okay. We got a motion and a second. Are there any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by the word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
And so, Dan, if there's an issue, I mean, call me, or he can have his attorney call me. Again, I don't look at it as a demand. I look at it as, I mean, the board's willing to take on responsibility. All we want is, like all of us have who have utility services, to be able to get on the property and take care of it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You got a phase 2 update with the remaining funds?
Last I think it was Tuesday, we held a engineering committee meeting to discuss use of remaining funds on the project. If you guys recalled, as of last June, we had 83,398 remaining. We estimated an additional 10 customer connections taking place and filing for reimbursement during that time before the period expired, giving us what we estimate to be about 73,398 remaining in remaining grant funds. I've already presented you guys the different items proposed to be considered for use of remaining funds. After discussion in the engineering committee meeting, we recommend to the board that they move forward with pursuing categories A through D on the attached table, which what that would be is we got this in a single proposal package from BL Anderson to provide us with integration of the lift station generators into SCADA, a level control system for the chemical feed tanks at Hatfield and 350 East, spare pumps for both Hatfield and 350 East, along with mixed flush valves, and spare SCADA RTUs for each station. Basically, spare equipment. If it goes down, Jerry can quickly swap stuff out. That total came out to $55,896.80, and we are also proposing that the remainder be rolled over into the Hudson Saugony project. The pricing for a trailer mounted bypass pump came out a little higher than I think we had anticipated it coming out for a new pump that's adequately sized to handle all flows in Hudson Saugony also. So Jerry had indicated he thinks we may want to look at doing that as part of remaining funds for the
Okay.
Hudson Saugony project.
He said we could borrow. He's purchased one, and if need be,
Yes.
we could borrow if we needed
So the
it.
city already has one, and in a pinch, he'd be able to use it. So that we would estimate $17,501.20 being rolled over from Rolling Prairie Phase 2 into Hudson Saugony.
Okay. So that's a recommendation from the engineering committee?
And yes, that is. And given that information, I'd like board authorization to begin work on PER Amendment number 4 to submit this to SRF for approval.
Okay, we should do that in two different motions. First, the recommendation and
Accept
approval, and then the amended PER.
Correct, and let me ask, with JPR's fee need to be in,
Thank you. Is JPR's fee factored into the total amount of the $73,398?
We shouldn't need any additional fee.
Okay. Fair enough. Then I would do two motions.
You're talking about a 2-page letter.
Okay.
This PER amendment's very short.
Good.
And then the remaining funds would be completely depleted?
Yes. That's the
Transfer
idea.
the remaining.
It's after the purchase of this spare equipment, the remainder would get rolled over into Hudson Saugony, and then that would close out Rolling Prairie for good.
Nice. I'd be glad to get that off the agenda.
Yeah.
So who made the motion?
So motion to approve recommendation from engineering committee for the remaining funds use. And the
Make that
motion,
I'll make the motion.
Marcy
I'll second that.
and Mitch second.
So we have a motion and a second to use the engineering committee's recommendation to use remaining funds. Phase 2. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Now we need a motion to approve PER amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve, what was it, amendment number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PR.
And I suppose request authorization for John Carr to authorize said submittal of PER amendment outside of a regular board meeting, because we will have to have a transmittal letter from the district indicating that it's been reviewed and approved.
All right. So moved.
You got a second?
Second?
We got a motion and a second by Mitch and Marcella to approve per amendment number 4 and give authorization to John Carr to execute the
Yeah.
amendment.
Transmittal letter outside of the meeting.
Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Okay, what else we got?
All right, I'm ready to, or I guess we have the pressure filter topic.
And it sounds like
We touched on that a bit already. I had a bit of an update in that the pressure tank has been replaced and media has been replaced. There was a memo that was attached to Boardable that should have a little breakdown of everything that was done out there. Chris brought up the leak occurring. I'll touch base with Jenny on that and figure out what's going on. With the existing tank, it doesn't appear that tank is salvageable, that a significant amount of work would need to be done to be able to put that back into service, including making a weld on the inside of the tank that's not accessible. So we would recommend that this just be given to the contractor to dispose of as part of their scope.
Okay.
There's no real way to reuse this tank.
Okay.
Okay.
you want a motion on that? Or is it just good?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like it. Okay, so that completes phase 2 update. Is that correct?
Yes, that is it.
Okay. Moving on to this Hudson Saugony project.
Yeah, so I thought first, Ken's not on here, so I thought I'd touch really quick on a funding update. I'm sure you guys already all know that we got $1.5 million from the county approved a week or so ago. Is that a week ago? Yeah. And that Ken and Steve Henshin will be meeting with SRF tomorrow in Indianapolis, and they're going to be pitching the case for the need for $5 million in subsidization over the 3 years of the phased project. So that'd be $5 million per phase.
Awesome.
And then we'll provide an update to you based on the what's discussed in said meeting. But that's taking place tomorrow.
Great.
Otherwise, update on Hudson Saugony. Not much else has gone on with the wastewater plant. We will be setting up a meeting to discuss the scope of needed improvements in order to accept just Saugony flows in phase 1. For the collection system work, we are currently wrapping up design of the Saugony Lake collection system and are working on designing the electrical distribution system for each of the grinder stations. And we'll be wrapping that up in the coming weeks here. As far as land acquisition goes, the only update I have is that Ken received a counteroffer from the property owner on the Pump Station 7 site, and that include purchasing. If you're familiar with the site, it's a really skinny strip of land between county right-of-way and toll road right-of-way, and they're proposing that the district just purchase all of the land to the county road to the east. It's kind of a narrow 10 to 20 foot wide strip of land that's not super useful for for him to have, but we could use it to potentially run our pipe through it. So Ken had indicated he was going to be in the meeting today to discuss it with you guys, but doesn't look like he's on. So
Okay.
we'll probably discuss that in February meeting.
Okay.
And that's all I've got.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Bynum?
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
Okay, Executive Committee, Engineering Committee. Nothing. You got Dan kind of reported for you.
Right.
Vacant lot policy.
Barry, have you taken a look at that
I
yet?
did, actually. I just did earlier this week. I kind of found that on my to-do list. And I don't really have any, I mean, there's a few typos. So, and you know, it still has, I thought it had, we probably need to change. I mean, I know who drafted it. It wasn't me, and it was nicely done, but we probably need to take, I don't know if he wants his name on a document that we're using as a template, so I can change that. But
Okay.
the substance of it is perfectly fine.
Just send me that back
Yep.
with whatever you found,
Okay.
and we will
Yeah.
get that finalized.
Okay. But no, it's nicely done.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, moving on. Notice of statutory exemption and extension of service letter.
Amanda, how are we doing on that?
We're almost there.
What do we gotta do?
Before.
Yeah, Mitch is helping me with that, so we should have that out here rather soon. And
Microphone.
You just gotta, cause we gotta do our letter, so you just gotta get me.
Right, I'll get you the names and then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sweet. Okay, moving on.
Inspection
Forgot about that.
finalist.
New business. Are we there? Notice of statutory exempt.
No, we're already done with all that. That's what we were just talking about.
New business. Next meeting, February 27th, in person and Zoom team links.
Uh-huh.
Any questions on that? Comments? Pre-agenda meeting, February 20th
Yep.
at 9 a.m.
Yep. And then,
Let's see. Oh yeah, that should be fine.
Property owner connected in October 2020 update.
I talked to her and informed her about having to pay for 22 and 23. And of course, she was not happy, but I explained the break that she was getting. Then there was a mistake in my office that Stephanie sent her a letter telling her she didn't have to pay.
Oh, no.
And I said, no one told you that. So she got another letter saying you do have to pay. So I'm waiting for that phone call.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Do you have a rough idea how much that would be
it was almost $2,000,
for 2 years? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not bad.
which you guys had already given her a break of a
Yeah.
year and a half.
Yeah.
And that was just the 2 years. So
Okay.
So she got essentially she got free service for what?
well, so far she's still getting free
You
service.
Yeah, a year and a half, but it was 3 or
Yeah.
3.5.
3.5. Man.
Yeah. So until she pays for it, and I told her I'd work out a payment plan with her if she needed to. I'm not going to charge penalties or anything for that time frame, which is
Right.
another good deal. Sorry, but yeah. Essentially, I will make sure that that is again right. I don't know why that mistake was done. I think she misunderstood. It was a different district and a different customer, and
Okay. All right, moving on. Old business.
I know it was on the agenda, but you sent out, I know, a draft of a rate ordinance to me and to,
yes, and to the engineering committee.
Okay.
And that was just, and then I sent you the old ordinances
Yep.
because I want to make sure you do the review to make sure any pertinent information from the old ones is put in this. That way we're not referring back to anything and we
Right.
can just say this going forward is the correct one.
yeah, and there might not need to be any, but you
Right.
raise a good question, which is, and I guess it's a board decision or a policy decision, you know. I think even though the toll road district, if you will, or sub-district is different, it would be nice to still have one rate ordinance and just have their charges as a separate table. Because if I recall, I just glanced at the draft you sent out last week, but there are these tables of different rates,
Right.
and both when it's during construction, you're paying the bond or you're paying then the full payment, but
Interim rate versus the full rate. And certainly we can do different tables for different projects because not all, Hudson Saugatuck
won't be the
is
same.
going to have a different rate versus your Rolling Prairie. I mean, every project
is
is
going to be
treated
different.
as individuals.
And obviously, the
So-
toll plaza is completely different in that they
Correct.
just have a set fee. But my preference would be, if we're really, the goal here is so that if somebody says, "What's your rate ordinance?" we don't have to flip through 14
Exactly.
documents 10 years
Exactly.
from now.
And
We
I
gotta-
think that's what we had discussed.
we ought to go and try and incorporate. So I'll look at that. I mean, you did send me those as well, by the way.
Yeah.
The water will be different, right? Because we're not getting into that. They'll still have toll plaza will still have a separate water ordinance, but
Well, yeah, or we can incorporate it in there if you wanted, so that it's all in one spot. That's
yeah, I'll look at that.
Okay.
All right.
But there is a difference between residential, commercial.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
And that-
There's all sorts
Yeah,
of variances.
If you look in that, you will see all the
Okay.
different categories and stuff, and that's our main focus to get this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot more
In depth.
sophisticated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Did you look at it?
So if I understood,
We got
what
motion to
you were-
adjourn? Is that?
Sorry,
Steve has a question.
if I understood what you were saying correctly, you're in favor of having just a single ordinance and then have like Exhibit A, B, C, D for the various service areas with a table.
Yeah, and I've not poured over to see but I suspect that's kind of how it's lined up already. It kind of has it kicks you out to different rates, but that would be my preference. I think, Steve.
I
Unless
agree.
you, I mean,
No,
you and Jennifer
it'd be
have
much
more.
cleaner to have it all in one place. So
Okay.
it may take a little more work on the front end, but in the long term, I think it's going to be better.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we discussed when we decided we were going to redo it. Was we need to get this all in one spot, and
Okay.
otherwise we're going to post 5 different
Right.
ordinances on the website, and that's just going to confuse more people. I think if we just have the one, and then
Yeah, and obviously we'll have to figure out a way, and you and Steve can give some perspective because you've dealt with this as in other districts where they've grown. But if at some point Saucony is incorporated, right, and they now have their own rate, we don't. I mean, I wonder.
I mean, we
do you
could
have to
always-
amend? Yeah, I mean, maybe you have to
Well-
amend it, but you're only amending them to change the name and the amount, not changing the
or you
structure.
can
of it.
adopt a whole new one just for that project. I mean, you can do it either way.
I
if
think
we
it-
just do a table and
Yeah.
all the base of it is still the same, and we add on to it and amend it to create that project's
Yeah,
numbers,
I
it
kind
should
of
be fine.
I kind of envision it, which is a little off topic, but how we do like an expandable condominium project. You get the substance, like here's phase 1 and here's all the rules, and then as you do phase 2, phase 3, you do amendments, but the only thing you're amending is basically now there are 6 more units, now there are 10 more units, and that's kind of how I would think this would work, so that the structure, the 20 pages of bulk will never stay or will never change, but then you'll just do the third amendment is now to add this rate table or something. I mean, it'll be way easier, I think, because then you'll only have one set of rules for everything.
Makes sense.
Okay.
You okay?
There was a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. Are there any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
Boy, I love these quick
9:45.